What is up, YouTube? Welcome back, Aeneas here. Today we've got one of the top 5 brews for the new set, MTG Bro, the Brothers War, if you don't know. Uh, and this set has a lot of artifacts, a lot of planeswalkers, a lot of Urza, a lot of Mishra. And so to start us off strong, I thought I would start off with this deck. It's basically Urza Big Artifacts deck. And disclaimer, I'm not sure this is the best version, of course. We're just trying things out. But there does seem to be a lot of support for having some sort of artifact ramp type deck in the meta, in the format. So yeah, I definitely think there could be something here, should be something here, but I'm not sure the right cards, not sure if the Planeswalkers need to be in there or not, but definitely seems like there's something cool here. So let's go ahead and break down the deck, talk about it, what's the plan, what's going on, what cards did I include, why, that kind of thing. So the key cards for this deck, I would say, are the first one, this Sten Partisan, Paranoid Partisan. So this is a 2 mana, 2/2, 1 white, 1 blue. And it says when it enters the battlefield, choose a card type other than creature or land. So you would choose artifact in this deck. And spells you cast of the chosen type cost 1 less to cast. So every artifact is going to be 1 cheaper. And it starts on turn 2, which is really nice. You can also, for 3 mana, exile Sten and return it to the battlefield at the next end step. So if you really needed to, you could pick like Planeswalker and then later change it to artifact. Or you can just use this as protection, like if they try to kill it, you exile it, comes back, that doesn't die, you still have your artifact ramp going on. So that's pretty cool. We also have this Power Stone Engineer, which is another 2 mana card that when it dies gives you a Power Stone, which helps you ramp your artifacts. And so basically you're going to want to put this down early, just chump block with it, or, well, hopefully you can at least trade with it and get a tap Power Stone to ramp you to your big spells. Also, we have Urza, Lord Protector. So Urza is very similar to Sten. 3 mana, 1 white and a blue for a 2/4, so pretty decent body for 3 mana. And it says artifacts, instants, and sorceries you cast cost 1 less to cast. So mainly in there for the artifact clause, because we're going to cast a lot of very big, very powerful artifacts. And if we can get like a Sten and an Urza on the battlefield, then they're going to be pretty cheap to play. Alright, and it doesn't stop there with the ramp, because we've got this guy, Thran Spider, 3 mana for a 2/4 with reach. And let's see if I can make this a little bit bigger so it's easier to read. But basically, this main benefit of this one is, first of all, it's an artifact. So if you have some of your ramping stuff, you can play for cheaper. And then also, it comes into the battlefield, it creates a Power Stone. So you get even more ramp for your artifacts off of this guy. And it doesn't stop there, because it has another ability for 7 mana, colorless mana. So you can use your Power Stones to do this. Look at the top cards of your library, top 4 cards of your library, sorry. And you may reveal an artifact card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. So you get some Power Stones, you get some stats, some Urza Lord Protectors, you get this guy down. Maybe you have enough Power Stones or mana open that you can start finding your big artifacts. So it's kind of a good way to search through your deck and get your artifacts. Alright, so that's kind of the base like creature package. And then once you start getting some of these guys down, getting some of your ramp going, then you're going to have things like the Celestis, which is an artifact that ramps you. Also gains you some life, helps you filter, stuff like that. Mightstone and Weakstone, which is a removal card or a draw card. And it ramps you 2 of those Power Stone type mana to help you cast your big artifact stuff. And because we're playing Urza Lord Protector, if you can get them down, then you can get the Planeswalker Urza, which is super powerful. Well, I shouldn't say super powerful, but it is powerful. It is a powerful Planeswalker. So that's an added bonus. That's not your main objective. If you get it down, sweet. you can go to town on that and have a bunch of fun with the Urza Planeswalker. But mainly, you want that ramp, you want the draw, you want the removal that it has, which is pretty nice. And it's going to be cheaper because you have the power stones and stuff like that to pay for it. So that's the main objective with that. We also have one Timeless Lotus, which you can't see because my head is here. Here, I'll scroll up so you can see it. Timeless Lotus enters tapped, but when it untaps, you can tap it for 5 mana every time. So that's a pretty strong artifact card to ramp you. Temporal Anchor, 6 mana artifact that basically lets you play 2 cards off the top of your library every turn. So another way to help you find your big stuff and to get you some card advantage. So that's one of your payoffs pretty much, but also helps you get into your other payoffs. All right, so then what are the big payoffs? What are you ramping to? What are you getting all, you're using the Might Stone and the Timeless Lotus and stuff like that. What are you trying to get to? Well, we have Portal to Phyrexia in here. So this might be a little bit of a meme dream, but there really is so much ramp. I mean, if you look at Timeless Lotus, that's 5 extra mana. You go from 5 to 10. So that gets you your Portal to Phyrexia right there. If you can just get one of those down. Maybe we should have 2 of these so you can get it easier. We'll have to play around and see, but it seems pretty cool. Might Stone and Weak Stone, that's 2 extra mana. So you go from 5 to 7. And if you have any other lying around Power Stones from your earlier, or you have a Sten or something like that, you're going to have your Portal Phyrexia after playing the Might Stone and Weak Stone. So I think it's not going to be that hard to get to this 9 colorless mana for the artifacts with all the power stones that the deck has and the discounts for artifacts the deck has. So I think it's definitely possible. So anyway, what does Portal to Phyrexia do? Well, when it enters the battlefield, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. So that'll be very good unless they have like a go wide token deck. That's the only time you're going to have a little trouble with that. And then at the beginning of your upkeep, put target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and it's Phyrexian. Not that that matters, but yeah. So every turn, you're going to be getting a creature card onto the battlefield, and when it first comes down, they sacrifice 3 creatures. So that's a pretty strong effect. Free creature every turn, so you can take the best creature from the graveyards. Yeah, so that's what you're trying to get to. That's one of the top ends. The other card that's really good that is a big artifact is Cityscape Leveler, which is an 8 mana, 8/8 trample, and when it enters the battlefield, when you cast it, or whenever Cityscape Leveler attacks, destroy up to 1 target permanent. Its controller creates a tapped Power Stone token. So they get a Power Stone, but most of the time they can't do anything with it, and you get to destroy one of their permanents, and that happens on cast, and it happens on attack. And let's say you cast it, you kill something, and then they kill this. Oh man, feels bad, right? But then next turn you can unearth it and do the same thing again. Unearth has haste, so I have to double check on if Unearth is a cast alternate cast cost or if it's an activated ability. If it's a cast, then you actually get 2 destroys when you use it because you cast it and then you can immediately attack with the haste. So yeah, that's pretty sweet. So that's just a way to just destroy the opponent's board with that guy, and the Portal to Phyrexia to try to kill all their creatures and start getting value for yourself. Yeah, so you should run away with the game if you can get those creatures, those artifacts down. All right, so that's the main payoffs. We also have some removal. They're instants, so they get discounts from Urza as well. We have one of these I'm trying out. Not sure how good it is or not, but it fits the synergy well. So it's 3 mana and a blue for a 2/5. And at the beginning of your end step, create a tap Power Stone token. So every turn you'll get another Power Stone. So another way to ramp up into your Portal to Phyrexia. And it has an ability which you can use the Power Stones to pay for. 6 mana, draw a card, and put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. So it's a mana sink. If you're not finding your big payoffs, this is a payoff for all your Power Stones that you got. You can make it bigger, you can draw cards, etc., etc. So that's also pretty sweet. And last but not least, we have these planeswalkers, which synergize well with the artifacts. We'll have to play around and see which one fits best. But I'm guessing probably either Karn or Teferi. And I'm just trying out the Tezzeret one. But Teferi, benefit of Teferi is you get to untap an artifact. So you can do something like tap your Timeless Lotus, play the Teferi, untap the Timeless Lotus. You've now got 11 mana. And so then actually he also untaps a land as well. So technically you could get to 12 mana there if you want to. So yeah, basically that's huge if you can do that. Or even if you don't have the Timeless Lotus, if you have Teferi on 4, Timeless Lotus played on 5, you can immediately untap it and cast something else on that same turn. You can do the same for your Mightstone, Weakstone, untap it, get the 2 extra mana. Yeah, I don't know, it's just crazy. And then also he has the -2, which lets you search through your deck. -7 is untaps everything, so that would also give you a ton of ramp if you can get to it. So that would be sweet as well. And then Karn creates your Power Stones, which we can use because we're playing the big artifacts deck. It also has the -1, which lets you search through your deck, depending on how much mana you pay. And -7, if you can ever get to it, probably won't, but if you can, then anytime you tap an artifact, you deal 1 damage to an enemy. Oh, sorry, to any target. So, if you can get his ult off, we have enough Power Stones and stuff that you'll just be either winning the game or killing the opponent's board. So, yeah, that would be pretty sweet. And the last Planeswalker, Tezzeret, if you haven't seen it already, activated ability of artifacts costs 2 less to activate. So I think that might work with the Cityscape levelers on Earth, depending on if that's an activate or an alternative casting cost. Other artifacts, the Thran Spider has the activated ability, so that will be 2 cheaper, so it only costs 5. So that's pretty nice. Celestis costs only 1 to activate. Maybe that's it for the activations on artifacts, but yeah, that's just a bonus. Then it has the +1, draw 2 cards, discard an artifact, or discard 2. So we have a lot of artifacts, so you can discard an artifact most of the time. -2, an artifact turns into a 4/4 creature with vigilance. So vigilance, and yeah, just vigilance. So you can turn one of your Power Stones into a 4/4 if you want, or you can turn one of these other creatures into a 4/4, whatever you want to do with that. But yeah, that's pretty sweet as well. So lots of cool synergies there with the artifacts, the big artifacts, and the ramping. And I guess the only last thing to mention are the lands. So we got blue-white lands in the last set, so we still have those. So it's pretty good mana. I added a couple of Mishra's Foundries just to have additional like artifact win cons. You could even turn them into 4/4s with Tezzeret if you want to. You could untap them with Teferi after they attack if you want to get extra mana. There's probably a few other synergies here with them as well that I'm overlooking, but yeah, basically it's an extra win con there. And then on top of that, I have the Plaza of Heroes, which fixes your mana for legendary spells, which we have a lot of. So we have all these artifact ones. We have the Urza, the Sten, all the planeswalkers are all legendary. And then also you can exile it and give a legendary creature hexproof or indestructible. So if you want to protect your Urza or something, you can do that. So yeah, just kind of added bonuses there, and most of the colored cards in the deck are legendary, so kind of just makes sense to have that as like an added bonus. All right, well that's it for the main idea of the deck. So Urza's big artifacts, trying to get the portal to Phyrexia going, stuff like that. Tell me what you think. Do you think it looks good? Do you think it's going to be a meme? Maybe it's a little bit of both. But I really think there's so much of this artifact ramp in the set that if we can just find the right synergy, which one to do. Maybe it should be more Teferis, more Timeless Lotus, and you just jump straight to that portal on turn 6. Or even, yeah, I guess it would be turn 6. But yeah, even that seems pretty good, so maybe that's the play. But something has got to work. I'm sure there's something here that's got to work. So anyway, can't wait to try it out, and hopefully the early access, and if not, the first week of the new set coming out. Anyway, but yeah, that'll be it for today. Look forward to my other videos for the top 5 brews coming up soon. And until next time, see ya.